There's a Father who does sit on a throne, and he is in heaven. And there's kind of a juxtaposition between these two things here. We have a Father God who's also a God who's in heaven. And I think Jesus wants to marry those two things, because sometimes as people, we take on the attention and adoration of one of those aspects of God, and we forfeit the other. Now, most of us, I'm guessing in this room, like to think of God as a God who's in heaven. He's set apart. We get these fancy and lofty ideas that God is all-knowing, that he is perfect, that he's big and strong, that he knows forever past, he knows intimately the details of now and forever future, and he is set apart from us. And he's somewhere up, somewhere, like in the atmosphere, in the heavens, looking down, because he's so much above us. His thoughts and his ways are above mine and ours, and that's God. And Jesus is saying, I want you to recognize that there is a God who is in heaven, and he has all those characteristics and attributes. And I think probably for most of us, the Father part is the struggle, or the thing that we don't really think as much about. Now, you might be sitting here and thinking the opposite, like, I love God, me and him are buds and pals, and the reverence you might need to have for him as being the God who is in heaven needs to be amplified. But I would imagine a lot of us in the room, this idea that God is our Father needs to be amplified in our lives and in our prayers. So on the one hand, there's a God who is in heaven, and Jesus also said, pray like this, our Father. Our Father. Now, I recognize there's probably a wide spectrum in this room, online, of what you think about your dad, like your earthly dad. Some of us had great dads. Some of us had dads who were very active in our lives. Some of us had dads who never showed up. We're never there. Like literally, we're never there. Or we had dads that came in and out of our lives. And what you think of your dad probably paints a picture of God the Father much more than you realize or would care to admit. This Father that Jesus is pointing us to pray to is the perfect Father that each and every one of our hearts longs to have. Father didn't just show up and sit in the crowd, while you performed, but the Father who walked beside you, who gave you wisdom, the one who loves you, the one who sacrifices for you, the one who gives you what you ultimately need in life. Even while you're rebellious, this Father's love is strong. It goes the distance. It's steadfast. It's patient. It's always looking to forgive. It's always extending its arms. This Father is what your heart always, always longs for and always needs. Thanks for watching this video, and if you're on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell to be notified of any new content we put out. We'd love to have you join us in person. You might be just checking us out online. We'd love to have you. If you're local to Foothills, come join us on a Sunday morning, or maybe you're waiting to re-engage as COVID has gotten you kind of out of the habit of being in person at church. I want to extend that invitation to you as well. And we'd love to connect with you. Here's a few ways that we would connect with you, and maybe you could connect with us. One is by getting in the loop on our e-news. Each and every week or two, we send out an e-news, and that has tons of information about events that are happening in the life of our church and ways to connect with us. We're also on Facebook and on Instagram. You might be watching this on one of those platforms, so follow us on there. And then a couple more options for you. One is our connection card, and if you provide us with just some basic information and maybe you want to share a prayer request or have a question about our church, we'd love to respond to those and get you connected in what's happening here at our church. And the last thing is our Ready to Serve form. That's an opportunity for you to let us know how you'd like to serve within our church. Maybe that's a next step for some of you. And those could be all kinds of things, from just helping out with yard maintenance around the church to serving in kids ministry to helping people out who are in need. If that's where you're at and you want to take that next step, we'd love to have you fill out that form. All the links are in the description below on this post, and so you can check that out and navigate to those areas real quick and easy. Thanks again for joining us. We hope to see you soon.